Call Halal Yahweh Bashem Habashai Bashem Rakakwadash. Continuing on. Esau turned off the camera. And they put a strike on Maccabean Spirit Ba. So videos will be uploaded on Malcolma and the original Maccabean Spirit for the time being for the next 6 days. It got a strike on the channel from a video from 6 months ago. But yeah, they don't like it when you shine a light on their sins and their crimes. And that's basically what it comes down to. You know, so let's let a little bit of this this play, a little bit more.
At this article on NewYorkPost.com, Cotton and Crenshaw, critical race theory whistleblower line, has already gotten hundreds of tips. But just what kind of tips are the U.S. military revealing via these hotlines? Well, in the clip that I'm about to show you, which is the bombshell by Senator Tom Cotton, this clip shows in a U.S. Senate hearing, Tom Cotton having an entire packet of hundreds of reports from military personnel on wokeness in the military, and he gives an account.
Wokeness in the military.
Of what some of those U.S. military personnel are reporting. Let me play that clip for you so you can hear it for yourself. Take a listen.
I have received, along with Congressman Crenshaw, several hundred whistleblower complaints about Pentagon extremist and diversity training. I want to share just a small selection of what your own troops are saying. And Mr. Chairman, I have a longer list that I'd like to submit for the record.
Without objection.
Again, this is just a few examples. One Marine told us that a military history training session was replaced with mandatory training on police brutality, white privilege, and systemic racism.
Are those things not truly happening? And does not the military sometimes play the role of police in times of stress and civil duress, which has been upon us as of lately?
Reported that several officers are now leaving his unit, citing that training. Another service member told us that their unit was required to read White Fragility by Robin DiAngelo, which
full of facts. I own the book. And I'm just gonna say, like I said, Elaine, Arkansas was real. Tulsa, Oklahoma was real. And the military actually helped destroy that. They actually sent in soldiers, and they flew planes over the top to drop bombs over the top of the people. All right. The Black Belt here in Chicago, the destruction of that very prosperous neighborhood that equaled, or maybe even was outdid Tulsa, was burned and destroyed. These people and the so-called black people lost their properties and their rights to their land, same way as they did in the other places. The Devil's Punch Bowl down in the South is real. Roseland or Rosewood and what happened in Florida, that was real. So these things have been kept away from the average white citizen and the average so-called black citizen. And those things in your past shapes your future. Your past shapes your policy. And they don't want to acknowledge. Then we want to what we're going to talk about the federal housing. She says in this video, she don't know what a white privilege looks like. The first 40 years of the FDA, the federal housing FHA, the Federal Housing Authority, it operated in a whites only protocol. So that was privilege to the whites. And then that allowed them to buy properties and multiple properties and increase their wealth and pass it on to their children, which did the same thing. And they received it was white privilege to enhance their neighborhoods. Then they came up with things like redlining. That was also white privilege. So, like I said, you know, let me grab this real quick. This is the book of Luke. I think it's chapter 16, around 20. Luke 16 and 20. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which laid at his gate full of sores. All right. And Lazarus is representation of the Israelites. All right. And the rich man is representation of Esau. of the wicked. So you got the righteous and the wicked. Heaven is rulership. Hell is when you're on the bottom, when you're struggling. There are conditions. All right? Not fictional places, like I said, the Lord is balanced. You don't tell one lie or commit one sin and then burn for millions and millions of years. All right? Or forever, forever, forever. That's not balanced. The Lord is balanced and he has fair judgment. All right? But that's another lesson. Verse 21, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. That's all Jake wanted, was a house, land, and a little piece, and to be left alone, not to be beaten and hung and profiled. All right, it's a proven fact that that in the major cities that the Negroes, Latinos were being profiled, and the whites were getting a bypass. You have videos all on the YouTube where former police officers were telling you they were told not to enforce drug laws in white neighborhoods, and let me tell you, that's where the most drugs are. Their children have the money and the access to it. But like I always say, you drive through Lincoln Park, you drive through Bucktown, you drive through Highland Park, you drive through all these places where the Edomites dwell, and you're not going to see their children bent over the hood of cars getting their pockets ran through and their backpacks searched by police officers. You only see that when you go to so-called Latin and so-called black neighborhoods. All right? And not to mention that often they pull them over and stop them like that, and they plant stuff on them. That's been proven as well. But they want to call it theory. All right? And desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table, moreover the dogs came and licked his sores. And so you Edomites, through your process, you've licked the sores of the Israelites, man. You lived off of them. All right? They made your country great. I saw a sign just the other day, and it says something to the effect that, see if I still have that in here. But it talked about see if I still have it. Yep, the Wadi Halbashim Awashai. Land stolen from the natives, built by slaves, kept beautiful by Latins, and it's a so-called Negro woman holding the sign. Let's see if I can put that in focus. All right, because that's very, very true. That actually happened. That's not theory. That's fact. One last set of scriptures and we're going to close this out. Because Esau, you have a balance that you cannot pass. And the things that are happening in the world, your time is up. And many of you know that and understand that. So this is Job 18. I'm going to start at verse 5 and read through 11. And it reads, "Yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, his house, his family, his race. And his candle shall be put out with him. The steps of his strength shall be straightened." They're having a hard time now. "And his own counsel shall cast him down." You see, this is his own counsel casting him down. "For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare. The gin shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him. The snare is laid for him in the ground, the trap for him in the way. Terror shall make him afraid on every side, and he shall drive him to his feet." All right, so they're going to be driven to war against one another and everyone, and then the Lord's going to come and smash them. That's their end, and we're very near it. All right, as this summer is being said to be going to be a bloody summer, and a lot of things are going to come to a head. That's why they just open everything wide back up. All right, with cases growing so-called in other places and around the world, and they just open everything wide open, and everybody in those places where this is open, those people are traveling back and forth to America. So what do you think they're going to do in the next 2 or 3 months? Complete and total lockdown, which is going to bring complete and total chaos. Hyperinflation, blackouts, crash of the dollar, riots, race riots, class riots, food riots. It's all going to happen. So prepare yourselves. Pray, fast, and pray as much as you can. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Abashai Bashim Rakakwadash Wa Abba Babal Shalom Kwam Yasharala.